Hello everybody, it's Rachel here at Clarty Hands Crafts. Today I've got a tutorial for you which is to make one of these fold up pouches. If I undo the string, I put far too much string on it, and then it unfolds to reveal lots of pockets, and inside those you can put all sorts of goodies, and it's a great idea to use as some happy mail. I saw this idea on Gayle Agostinelli's channel and I thought it was a wonderful idea, but it's from 3 years ago, so I was going to give it a try, and then I thought I might as well film the process for you so that if you haven't seen it before then you can share the good idea. So I hope you enjoy the video. So for this project you're going to need 3 envelopes, all of the same size, or at least the same width. It might work if you've got... no, it won't. You will need them all to be the same size. My envelopes have been coffee dyed, but one thing I will say is make sure your water isn't too hot if you do decide to coffee dye yours, otherwise the glue dissolves and then ends up sticking everything to your envelope instead. Okay, so I'm going to work one at a time for now because I am decorating the front section. So I've just got a piece of card here to slip inside, and that's just so that I don't end up sticking the envelope shut. I'm using Mod Podge matte and some old sewing pattern paper, and what I'm going to do is just paste this down, use it like deco patch paper, and then it will decorate, just make the inside a bit more interesting. But also I'm liking the fact that it's not going to be too overwhelmingly patterned, so I'm just kind of gonna go for it and see how it pans out. So I'm going to paint the Mod Podge on, and I'm using plenty because I want it all to be stuck down tightly. I do need to avoid getting it on the card because I don't want to end up sticking the pattern paper to the card, because that wouldn't be ideal. I'm using different pieces of this as well, and I'm more than happy for it to be wrinkled because I just like to have that effect. You can do it straight if that's the kind of look you prefer. You can use that section. Place that on there. It's still not going to be quite big enough, is it? I'll have to do the other section instead. So when Gayle did this, she used napkin. So anything with that goes see-through so that you can see where the envelope itself lies will work. I'm going to overlap there. And then I can just trim that down, or tear it down. It might be better to tear, to make the edges a bit more interesting and sort of natural. And slap all that on top so that we get a good... What are you doing, Rachel? Wrong area. So the whole point was to be able to see where the envelope goes. I've just stuck it down anyway. Not to worry, because I'm going to cut that now while it's still damp. This would probably be easier with larger scissors. And that outside edge I'll cut down. Actually, I'm going to fold it round when I come to do the other side, so I'm not worrying about that just yet. But just make sure that you're able to remove the card from the inside. Next one. Need a piece of paper or a piece of card or a cloth lying around. Same again. Just making sure I get the excess water off my paintbrush there. If you don't have Mod Podge, then you can just use PVA glue. You can even mix it down with a little bit of water. I think I can take that all the way out because I didn't use too much glue. This is a good opportunity as well to seal up any bits that have come loose when you've dyed the paper, dyed the envelope. Plenty on, okay. Oh, I didn't go over the top of that other one, did I? Forgetful. That will be why the card came out so easily. So I'll go back and do that now. And then I'll trim that one down before it dries. Okay, so I'm going to allow those to dry, then I'm going to come back and do the backs of them. But they need to be stuck down to do that, so I'll show you that bit next. So I forgot to switch the camera on there, and I was happily working away. Right, all I've done is I've stuck the flap with lots of glue from one envelope onto the back of the other, and then we're going to do that once again. So that's the front, so we want to put it face down against the back of the other, and that flap's going to be stuck down like that. So pull it back to add your glue, make sure everything's lined up nicely, glue right to the edge, or as close to the edge as you dare go. Plenty of glue down to seal the bottom as well of the flap. Leave a small 1mm gap. So what's that, like a 1/16 of an inch or something like that. And that'll just allow the pages to fold easily. Once it's lined up, then you can stick it down. Make sure you give it a good smooth down, like that. And then hopefully when I lift this up here, you'll be able to see how it's going to work. So that folds up, that folds up, and then you've got the flap there. So that's the bones of it. It looks a bit scruffy at the minute just because we need to cut these down. Actually, we'll do this now. Let me get my bigger scissors. We probably should have cut the bottom bit before we stuck everything down. Yes, definitely cut it down before. It would make it a lot easier. I don't always do things logically. There we go. So you could probably be a bit neater than what I've done it there by doing it before we stick. So fold, fold, and then that'll be the closure. So flip it upside down, and then I'm going to paste more sewing paper on top of this. Let's see if I can just get it positioned so it's all in the shot. And again, we're using Mod Podge. And sewing pattern. Loads of Mod Podge on. Excuse me. It does dry quite quickly, so we want to work fast with this. And then I'm going to trim that down. Some of it's going to be folded. Into the centre, because what I don't want to happen is to have the centre of the sandwich peeking out, so I like to fold everything around. So you can just do that. To whatever feels the right way. Can fold some to the back, some to the front, but I do need to take a big chunk of this off, otherwise it's just going to be, I don't like it being cut actually, so I'm going to tear it. And the top triangle bit, I am going to attempt to just trim that flush with the edge. Whoops, made a mess of that already. I think I want to fold most of it to the outside, because this is where I want all of the interest to be. I'll just replace the cap on there. So if I can fold it around, let's take a bit more off. So I just think the messier the better on this side. Well, sort of tidy mess, I guess. Pull it tight around the edges where you can. This is fun. I used to do a lot of mixed media. I found it very relaxing. But when I started to do my crafts as a job, kind of got put on the back burner because I needed to focus on other things. So when I get to do lots of sticking and painting and stuff, I do really enjoy it. I should make more time for it. Okay. So I'm going to give it all a coat of Mod Podge, well, all of the back because I've done the front. But I just want to get rid of these scraps. Try and keep it nice and close to the edge. Follow the pattern of the envelope. Stick these edges, seal them, because the thing is that this top flap is going to be the most used part, so you do want to make sure it's well stuck to the edge. So time to give it a coating all over. Just try and squeeze the air bubbles out slightly while you're doing it. There we go. Right, so again I need to let it dry. And then I will fold it up and show you how it looks so far. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to make a quick journal card using the packet from the vintage sewing pattern. 21 by 14.5, so it's a large card. Just round the corners. See what it looks like if I just cut through that style. Because I quite like having that detail at the top. Actually, we've got a pocket there, haven't we? Oh no, I still want to make a journal card out of it. So I just wanted to save that bit of writing just because I think it makes it just something interesting, doesn't it? So I'm going to make that, what was it? The size of the card, 14.5 is it? Let's just trim some off and see what happens. Right, 20.5. Just take some of that off. Take it down to 20. And we'll see what we need to take off. To make it even around the edges. Take some of that side off. I don't know why this is so dirty. I got this from a charity shop, somebody was selling a big box of them, so I got some vintage looking ones. It's not going to cut because it's already damaged. So yeah, I just picked up a couple of the vintage looking ones that I thought had cool images on the front. I think I got about 3 of them. Is that an even border? Even enough for me. Stick that down. Go for tacky glue. Oh, I want to round the corners as well to match the card. It's harder to round the corners when you haven't got perfectly square corners to start with. Just tone it in a little bit, and then I'm going to stitch around the edge. So there's a nice space for writing. Okay, I'll go and stitch that now. There's my large journal card. Okay, so when it's dry, you should have something that looks like this. It's hard to get in on the camera, but it feels really nice as well. So all that's left to do is to decorate it. So I want to start by making a closure. What kind of colours are we doing? Just vintage colours, I think. Like any colour that could be found in, what era is that? 60s or 70s? She's got hair like that 70s show, so it must be the 70s. So we're just going to find some scraps, do some decorating. It's quite a good colour. It's a bit too eye confusing, I think. Alright, and what I think I'll do is I'm going to use the large punch and the medium punch. And I'm going to punch 2 circles and make a closure. So I will need my crocodile. So I wanted quite a busy design, and I do want to make sure I get some reds in there. Do that section and the reds on the edge. Yeah, and then a different colour on the top. How about this? Let's try it. This is just glue that's dried onto my hand, so if it's catching your eye, then I do apologise. So I'm just thinking of making a little button using this. And another thing that I'll do off camera, or possibly speed it up is to ink all of the edges of the pouch. This isn't completely dry just now. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to stick to itself. I'm hoping that once it is completely dry that it won't stick. I don't know why I'm trying to ink the inside there. I'm going to tie a piece of twine around there. I think there's some of this twine left in my shop if you want some. It's really handy for putting in tags. There's a string for tags, alright, I mean. Okay, and then we'll wrap that around. And then that can go in between the layers. Something like that. So it makes an exciting package to unwrap. So somebody would open it up, and I think we need some kind of decoration. Actually, maybe not. Maybe that would be okay. But we need decoration in here. And then potentially something on here to write on. So you could have like an address kind of space here. Not that you're going to send that directly in the mail, but it's just to make it themed, isn't it, really? So I've got these rice papers to decorate with, and these are from Imagination Crafts. They're all the same ones. I've got several. Are they the same? Yes, they are. So I wonder if I can tear these with a rule. Let's attempt it. So I definitely want this lady. I'm not worried about tearing into the page as long as I don't tear the lady, she says. Paste that down. That's the thing with the fibres of rice papers, they do hold on tight when you tear. Which is good because it makes you get this sort of fluffy edge effect. Right, I definitely want one of the dress forms. I think I'll go for this one just because it's a bit more, slightly more modern looking. This is a bit of a workout, I'm getting out of breath. I think that says more about my health than it does about the papers. I think we might need 3, so I'll get the other lady as well. My bin box is getting quite full there, so I think I better change that after I've finished here. Into the large bin. I'm just going to paste it straight on top, but I'm just going to add some ink to the edges of these, just to give it a gentle frame. So I would recommend decorating while it's folded instead of opening it out flat, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to end up with upside down images and off that slightly curved edge. Gently. So that's going to go there with some stitching around. Or I can have the lady looking at it from one side. Just overlay. I quite like that. So stick her down and then I'll go upstairs and stitch because my sewing machine is in my bedroom. Trying to remember where I put her. So these rice papers were by Imagination Crafts. I don't actually know if they're still going, are they? Trim that down. Actually, I'm just going to open that up and check that I don't want it to wrap around. Does it look good? Oh yeah, we'll allow it to wrap, just because I think that'll give it a more polished edge. So then we want another one here. Okay, I'm going to stitch that now. So I'm going to stick that address label into place. Yeah, definitely need one there. Oh no, I've cut a foot off. See if I can reattach. Sorry lady, you're gonna have to have a procedure done. I like that a lot. So we're just gonna deal with these edge bits. Are we still in the shot there? Yes. The brush is too big for this really. Okay, so now it's all done. Let's just open it up. Definitely did far too much string. Okay, so that's the first page that you see. Lift the flap, and then we've got this lady here. Flip it down, and then we've got the mannequins. Flip it down, and then we've got the inside. So in the first page I've just put a couple of pieces of ephemera. This was from that the ephemera pack that I got from Beamish, and then this was another sewn pattern, and it was on the cover of the sewn pattern, so I just cut that down and made a journal card out of it. Then I made the large journal card that you saw me make with the front of this pattern, and then in the back I've just got a book page of a girl, and then I've got this sort of journal card, which it needs a bit more add into it, but I've just popped that in there for now anyway. So that, let's see if you can get it all in there. That, you get to see all of the mess. This is it. But it's cool, isn't it? I really like it. So if you make one, please let me know and share with me on Instagram at ClartyHandsCrafts, and then you can show me what you've done and I'll give you a mention if you go for it as well. Alright, thank you very much, and I shall see you next time for another video. Bye!